You're listening to the Trading Bear Podcast. This is episode 12, The Daily Show.
Mystery player. Position.
Forward.
Start price.
£4.44.
Current price.
£5.57.
PB.
0.
MB.
25p.
Dividend yield.
4.5%.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining in. In the news today, Solskjaer is knighted Sir Ollie in the red half of Manchester as a 93rd minute dubious VAR penalty sends United prices soaring. Manchester City continue to have allegations of financial fair play violations investigated after German magazine Der Spiegel published a series of claims based on leaked documents. And mentioned in yesterday's show, Roma boss Eusebio Del Francesco is indeed sacked as Roma bow out of the competition 4-3 on aggregate to FC Porto. Ranieri is linked, and to make matters worse, their star young player Zaniolo was rumoured to have been scouted by Real Madrid last night. So there was only one real story last night, and that was Manchester United's late winner against Paris Saint-Germain, with Mbappe, the unfortunate man to have been judged to use his arm, with a referee going to the VAR, pointing to the spot, and Rashford under huge pressure sends a great penalty into the back of the net and to send United through. And as soon as that penalty was dispatched by Rashford, the prices of Manchester United players shot up. I've got a few here and I'm just going to read them out. Lukaku up 79p, now £5.58. Rashford up 71p, now £13.07. Martial, 28p up, now sits at £8.15. Even McTominay, Scott McTominay, has risen 63p today and he's now at £2. Last night then was just yet another example of just how volatile the prices can be on big European nights. And of course the flip side of those Manchester United players are those Paris Saint-Germain players falling down, and we'll look at those in a minute. Before we do though, there is one more player I'd like to look at in today's Risers list, and that is Max Aarons, the young fullback at my own club at Norwich City. Now he's gone up 25p today and now sits at £2.62. Now Aarons is a very serious talent. He's got everything you want in a fullback, and I would compare him to a young Kyle Walker. He's quick, he can tackle, he can get up and down the line, and he can add the goal and the odd assist, and he can cross. He's got everything a modern fullback needs, and I expect him to make it to the very top. But I just can't be having him at £2.62. In fact, I looked at his price when it was £2.05 a few weeks ago, and I just thought, there's no return there. He's not going to get you PB, he's not going to get you MB. And if you look at the top defenders, they're about the £3.50 mark, and even in terms of capital appreciation, there just isn't a sensible argument to be made to have that buy. He of course has since shot up to £2.62, and for my money, yes, a great young player, but it's not a trade I'd want to make. So now then, let's move on to those fallers at Paris Saint-Germain now, and leading the way is their star striker Mbappe. And he fell today 39p down to a current price of £16.15. Now Mbappe's a great player, I don't think anyone would question that. He's scoring goals, he's setting up goals, he's lightning quick, and he looks to have a very promising career. However, he's just not winning MB, he's not winning PB, and this was without Neymar in the team. If he can't do it without Neymar in the team, he's certainly not going to win dividends with Neymar in the team. For my money, the only way he's going to generate MB or PB dividends is if he moves to Madrid. Is that likely in the summer? Who knows? There's going to be a lot of upheaval at Madrid, that's for sure. But at £16.15 with no chance of winning dividends, he's still not a great buy for me, no matter how good the player he is. The other faller today also fell by the same amount of 39p and now sits at £6.94. Talking of great players, this is definitely one of, if not the greatest player to have lived, and it's Ronaldo. £6.94 for Ronaldo. It's crazy. His price has dropped hugely in the space of the past few months or so. So what's caused today's latest dip? The drop today was largely due to one trader, that trader going under the name Seb O. Now for those of you that don't know Seb O, he's got a huge portfolio, we're talking 6 figures, possibly even 7 figures, and he IS'd a lot of Ronaldo this morning, so much so that his price dropped down to 39p. Now that wasn't all due down to him, but a large proportion of it was, and it just shows the power of what a big trader can still do in the market in what is still, remember, the very early days of an emerging market in terms of football index. What it does mean though, it does mean Ronaldo creeps ever closer to my personal magic mark of a sub £5 price for Ronaldo. Anything under £5 for Ronaldo looks extreme value. He's not going to go anywhere soon. He's got at least another 2 years. I think these allegations against him will go away over the summer. And let's not forget, he's still the top goal scorer in Serie A. He's still going to get goals. He's still going to dominate most of the ball in his matches. And he's actually been very unlucky not to take down more PB than he has. Alright then, let's move on to today's questions then. And today's first question comes from Tom in San Antonio in Texas. Now, in my younger years, I was lucky enough to travel from New York to LA, right across America, and we stopped, as the group, we stopped at San Antonio, one of the nicest places I've ever been to. Tom, you're very lucky to live there. Anyway, Tom's question, he says, I watch a lot of MLS, and the standard is getting better every year. What do you think of Alphonso Davies' chances at Bayern Munich? Tom, I think Alphonso's clearly a very talented player. There's a lot of raw talent there, and indeed the Bayern coaches have been echoing those thoughts. During the winter break in the Bundesliga, he highly impressed the Bayern coaches, and they stated during these early training sessions that they were surprised at his quality and just how much talent he did have. However, they did also mention how raw he still is. Let's not forget, he's still only 18 years old and he's only played in the MLS. Now, even though the standard is getting better, it's still way behind the major European leagues. He is making regular appearances on the bench though, and at the current moment in time, he's sitting behind Gnabry and Coman in the pecking order, and obviously Müller as well. And don't forget that Thomas Müller is still only 29 years of age, and even though he's been told this week he won't be playing for Germany again in the future, he's still got a good fair few years ahead of him. So a lot of competition for Davies, but I think over the summer he'll be given chances in friendly matches, and I think from next year onwards he'll look to stake his claim. Today's second question comes from Bob Holden in Swansea. Thanks for getting in touch, Bob. And Bob asks, is now the best time to buy Paris Saint-Germain players? Now, certainly as the old market adage goes, you want to sell high, buy low. But we need to take in a few considerations before we do that. The main consideration is age. Currently the trend in Football Index is youngsters. The younger a player, the better buy seemingly that player is at the moment. Now hopefully the dividends will change that notion in a couple of weeks' time and we'll see a better return for those better players. But regardless of the dividend changes, older players are always going to be at a higher risk of capital depreciation. And this is where most of the fallers have happened in Paris Saint-Germain. Angel Di Maria, Edison Cavani, these players aren't going to retire in the next year, but they're certainly getting on a bit, and hence their drop in prices to £1.50, £1.60 mark. However, the younger Paris Saint-Germain players like Marquinhos, Mbappe, Draxler, they're still going to have good seasons next year, and now is as good a time as any to get involved with those types of players. The one exception for me is Mbappe, as I previously mentioned on today's show. Despite today's drop, I still don't think there's any value there to be had at £16 at its current price. Now, transfer rumours may change that, as I've mentioned on the show, but looking for value, I'd stay away from him and instead look more at those Marquinhos and Draxler players. For those that remember last season's Champions League, Messi suffered a similar fate as Barcelona surprisingly went out to Roma after being 4-1 up, and his price plummeted on the night. And of course, over time, over the summer, his price recovered and is now much more than it was that time last year. So this gives us a bit of an insight as to how prices recover over time. Now, of course, the market was much smaller then, and we've had a huge surge in user growth from then, but I predict the same to happen this summer, so I think buying quality players that are dropping out of the Champions League is a good and viable tactic. And that's it for this episode. You can download and subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify and Podbean. Head over to the website to send in a question, tradingbearpodcast.com. Alternatively, you can find me on Index Gain or Twitter under the name Trading Bear. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for the Mystery Player.
Mystery player. Position.
Forward.
Start price.
£4.44.
Current price.
£5.57.
PB.
0.
MB.
25p.
Dividend yield.
4.5%.
Trading Bear. Today's mystery player was Romelu Lukaku.